Welcome, collectors and heavy equipment enthusiasts. Thank you so much for joining me for a very special edition of Diecast Emporium. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at a very limited edition, special edition of the Diecast Masters Caterpillar 335 FL hydraulic excavator. But before we get there, we have to do a little bit of reflecting on how we got there. So, what you're looking at now is the base or the primary model that you can get now from any of your authorized Diecast Masters dealers or your distributor network, which wherever you go and purchase your Diecast Masters products from. This is the regular Cat 335 FL reduced tail swing excavator, released about 2016, started 2017, somewhere in that general range. Even to this day, when I'm filming this video in the beginning of 2022, it's still one of Diecast Masters' best-selling Cat excavators. So, fast forward to now, we're going to be taking a look at a Eberhard version of this excavator. Now, Eberhard, if you've never heard of them, they're a large European construction contractor. They're based in Switzerland, and they wanted 1,000 pieces done in their own company livery, so they commissioned Diecast Masters to do so back in 2017. However, they had a couple special requests, which we will get into in just a moment. But here is that version of the model. You can see that it comes in the brown outer shipping box. It is still a Highline Series model, despite it not coming in the Highline Series tin. So let's begin the unboxing now. Pop open one side. Really doesn't matter what side you open. One of their requests was they wanted their own branded box. So there's what the branded box looks like. So here you have the Eberhard family of companies. The model inside. Here's what the top looks like. Here's what the side looks like. Cat 335 FL hydraulic excavator. Now, here's your first clue that there was a tooling revision done just for this client. Here's their real 335 FL that they have in their fleet, one of them that they have in their fleet, and they wanted this machine to match or replicate that. If you look closely, there's something that's not on this one that's on the base model of the 335 or the production model of the 335 that you can buy now. So start taking a look and see if you can figure this out. But they wanted this to replicate the real machine, so there's a picture of the real machine. Taking a look at the box underneath, here's all your copyright information for those that like to see that. Let's get on with the unboxing. It is housed in the plastic pull-apart formers, similar to what Diecast Masters uses for the Core Classics lineup. Pull these apart. Use a little bit of care when you're doing it. Lift the model straight up. Can you see now? Can you tell what I'm talking about? Pull apart the plastic protection around the tracks, and now you're ready to display your 335 excavator. Okay, so we have both of them in frame now. This one, obviously, again, for those that may not be familiar, this is the stock version of the 335, and this is the Eberhard version of the 335. And if it's not obvious at this point, you can see that the other request that Eberhard had for DM to do for this client project, they wanted the dozer blade removed from the 335 to replicate that of their real version. So, of course, not to disappoint, Diecast Masters removed the dozer blade on this version of the 335. So, wanted to show you the stock version and this version side by side so you had both for reference in frame. In true time-honored fashion, we will continue the review by looking at the decals and details on this model. Now, most everything other than that, other than the dozer blade, is exactly the same as on the 335 in terms of the decal application and the paintwork. The only other exceptions would be the addition of the Eberhard graphics all throughout, including this one that I'm pointing out now on the boom, the very large Eberhard graphic on the counterweight of the excavator, whereas again on the stock model you can see that the cat graphic is on the counterweight. Continuing, on the right side of the machine you have the Eberhard graphic and the Eberhard graphic over here as well. The other graphics include Cat 335 FL. You have some warning labels and such all throughout. Your hydraulic lines and lights are all intricately detailed and add some realism to the model, including 2 forward-facing lights, 2 mirrors. The surfaces are not reflective, but at least they have a silvered finish on it, so we'll give that a pass. Looking inside the cab of the 335, you can see that after all of these years, Bob finally has decided to change his clothes. Maybe he's purchased a washer and dryer. You can see that now he has on a pair of blue pants, where normally he would have an orange pants, and also the color of his shirt is slightly different. My assumption would be, of course, that that is another request that Eberhard had, that they wanted to replicate perhaps the work uniform of the operators in their company. So that's the decals and details on the model. Let's start now with functionality. Again, all of the functionality is going to be exactly the same as it was on the 335, but just to do a quick recap, the tracks are metal, they will roll, they are spring-loaded, so you can take them off if you want to. You can rotate the excavator 360 degrees without an issue. It's not sticky, so it will not get stuck, nor will there be any friction problems for you. Moving on to the main excavator functionality, you can raise it up to here. The cylinders on my model in particular are extremely stiff, so you can hold the pose without any worry of it coming down over time. We'll move the stick out slightly. There you go. There's your high end of things. Let's curl our bucket in. Let's curl our stick in as high as it will go. That is as high in for curl as you can get. This model does have the same curl-in restrictions and limitations as the base model of the 335 has, and that is a known issue because of the way the tooling design has. You can get around that by modifying the pins and the cylinder restrictions, but again, that is something I never recommend doing, of course, if you intend on reselling your model in the future. All right, for the bottom end of things, how far will it dig down? You can get your excavator to go down to here. Again, pretty respectable. For a parked pose, you can get your excavator to achieve that with no issue and have your machine parked up after a long day of excavating. So, in conclusion, this version, the Eberhard version of the Diecast Masters Highline Series Caterpillar 335 FL hydraulic excavator, is worth adding to your collection for no other reason other than it is an extremely limited edition with only 1,000 being made worldwide back in 2017. This machine is based on a real-life piece of equipment that the Swiss company owns. All of this information I found on the website minimovers.nl, which is a company, a Caterpillar collector based in the Netherlands. I cannot encourage all of you guys enough. Many of you obviously in the community know about that website, but if you don't, check them out. Bunch of great pictures, bunch of excellent resource information, so make sure you check out that website if you haven't yet. As for this model, you cannot purchase this model from any of the Diecast Masters dealer networks. You will have to go online and track one of these down. That's what I had to do. Again, these are getting rare. There was only 1,000 made back in 2017, and they are somewhat difficult to find, and you will have to pay up to get one. But with it being a limited edition, and if you are a cat collector, I cannot encourage you enough to try and find one of these. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you very much for watching. As always, take a look at your screen right now. You will see a couple suggested links for videos similar to this one, so if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy those as well. Until next time, take care, be safe, be well. I'll see you in the next Diecast Emporium review.